have started before he walked in with the camera, man.
My wife started doing this.
Did you block on shot? Oh, Spielberg, right?
Huh?
Oh, Spielberg.
Yeah.
We talked last week a little bit about having this little break here, which you didn't have before the playing tournament. How much do you like divide days up into what you want to go over? How do these 4 or 5 days of practice kind of work for you?
Yeah, you divide, how you want to go through it. Today, it'll be more of a defensive day. Understanding what we want to do defensively. So you can have 4 or 5 days of just, prepping defensively because they're a tough team. We have a lot of different weapons. Monty has a great system. So the most important thing right now is, on the defensive end.
When you look at this team overall and just coaching, is it hard maybe not to react to something you may see in a game 1 or 2 right away? Or like, how do you coach that kind of thing? Seeing a team maybe take advantage of something that you're doing.
Yeah, you just got to see how it goes. I think just seeing how a team tries to attack and on both ends, like who they try to attack defensively, and then how they try to attack us offensively. And so, you put a lot of prep into just one game because once the first game is over, things are going to change. And so, but you got to prepare for it. And so, our biggest thing, just want to see the first game and see how they try to attack us, and then just kind of go from there.
Because of how much time you have to prepare, I guess in a weird way, like, is over preparation, could that be a thing in some regard?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it gets kind of boring when you got 5 days to go over the same thing over and over again. But it's the playoffs, and so the biggest thing is preparation, and then it's adjustments and understanding what you got to do after. The first game, first quarter, first half, whatever. You got to make adjustments to put your team in the best position to win.
With PG out, obviously Kawhi's probably going to see a crowd pretty often. Does that impact the way that you choose to deploy him defensively with the amount of offensive assignment that he's going to take on, with potentially having to also take the KD assignment defensively?
I can't remember.
Who mimics KD?
I can't hear you.
Who mimics KD when you're studying up for Phoenix? Obviously, they have the.
I thought about doing it, but I thought about doing it, but I'm probably a little Brandon Boston, a couple different guys, but I mean, who could really be KD?
What do you make of just the team's mindset going into this, where Zoo's on Sunday saying you still feel like we're dangerous, but that it's sometimes hard for everything to work in concert with each other, the offense with the defense, with the slow starts. How do you feel like you guys are confidence-wise that you can make it happen in this series?
I feel confident.
Do you sense that from just from Kawhi on down from the roster?
Yeah, I mean, we put ourselves in a great position. I know they're a tough team, but just get into the playoffs. Like we saw last year, just fighting for our lives, trying to get in the play-in, and we lose 2 games and you go home early. So we have a great opportunity. Like I say, it's a great team and great coach at Monty Williams. But we're up for the challenge. We're in the playoffs, and it's about being locked in. I think the biggest thing for our team is just taking away the mental mistakes. The game plan mistakes, we got to be better with that, because they'll make you pay every single time. So we got to be sharp in what we're doing defensively, and then offensively, just reading how they're going to play us, and we'll be able to understand that once the game starts.
They've only played 8 games together. That trio with KD, they are 8-0. But what can you take away from those games? Maybe I don't know if you've watched the footage of that, but what can you take away from those games?
Well, their ISO, I think, went up about 60%, just isolating the basketball, because KD is probably one of the best one-on-one players we've ever seen in this game. And so, and what a great coach does is they kind of change their offense to fit around their team. And when you acquire a guy like KD, you got to make sure that you're using him to his advantage, and they have been. And so that's what Monty has done. Their ISO has gone up about 60%, but they're super, super efficient in those ISOs. So, like I said, it's just, they only played 8 games, but KD's been around. He's been seeing how they play, what they need to do. He knows the offense because he's been around a long enough time. He just happened to get hurt, but it's going to be a tough challenge.
In the finals that you played against, you coached against KD, you said your focus was on taking a step out because he was a lot of what they do. Is there anything you learned about playing against KD? Not asking you to reveal it, but is there anything you learned about KD that maybe you think can apply to this kind of series?
I don't think so. I think is different. You know, the players are different. You know, the coaching style is different. So, I mean, I wouldn't really be able to take anything away from the Golden State series.
Was he the hardest guy you've had to try to stop in the playoff series?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, as good as Steph is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you go into a series and just try to, like you said, they only played 8 games, but you go into the series and try to take away what a team does really good. You know, what they've done all season long and try to beat you a different way. And so it's kind of tough because they've been a movement, you know, CP pick and roll, but now adding KD, now they're more, you know, more ISOs and they play a little different now. And so just trying to take away what a team does best. That's your main focus. And then try to make them beat you a different way. And they show they can do that, then you got to adjust and do something different. And so, I mean, KD on any team, you know, gives you problems no matter who it is. And so we just got to be locked in and ready to go.
Tilo, you look at the fact that when the first quarter of this season, y'all were a top 5 defense, and there have been things that have happened over the course of this year, but when you look at how the season started, when the offense was struggling and everything, and the team was winning with defense primarily, do you take anything from that, or do you feel like that was so far ago that you can't really look at that as any kind of foundation?
Yeah, I think just having our main principles, our main foundation, like we definitely have to get back to that. I think we got to be, you know, the more physical team because if we allow those guys to run around and get to their spots, you know, with Book, you know, he's shooting 50-some% from mid-range. KD's shooting almost 60%. CP shooting 50%. So we just got to be physical. We know Aiden, you know, killed us on the glass, you know, offensive rebounds and things like that. So we just got to be physical. I think that's going to help our defense. Just being physical, being in the bodies, not let those guys move around and roam freely. And so that's got to be our mindset going into game 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.